Welcome back to King of Smut 95 is playing Langrisser. We're going to do level 2 today, and basically, we're going to go over some anime, and we're going to put a little sort of foreshadowing, if you will, why we have such a strange sort of interpretation for Langrisser, and how that. In many ways, we could have interpreted it as a hentai type anime, even. But I can't show it on this level. I'll have to show it on the next level. So, what you want to do is you want to hit subscribe, and you'll also hit like, and you'll see the conclusion of my statement here. Okay. So, scenario 2, we basically have to do a protection level here. We have Mina here with a whole bunch of her clerics and girls that we find in the forest. And then we have all these weirdo barbarians coming in. And again, I'll get more into these weird barbarians on the next level, because I won't show it on this level. Again, stay tuned and you will see that in my next episode. And so here what we have to do is we have to try to protect these girls from the weirdos. And again, so I'm going to stockpile Volkov with soldiers. Don't want to, equip it with too much better stuff, because I don't want the barbarians suiciding themselves on his units. I mean, he's already bad enough as it is that his units are already too powerful. Don't want to give Volkov too many more experience points here. So again, same strategy. I'm going to try to build a wall on this side here to again stop the barbarians from reaching the girls. Okay, so basically keep them away from them. Now Mina is going to be running towards the left hand of the screen, and she's going to try to make it to that bridge. So again, we're going to have to do Layden here. Again, Layden I've stocked up with soldiers at this present moment. If you happen to level them up, then you can stock them better. But for the meantime, this will do. I'm going to basically try to rush them over as fast as I can to the left side of the screen here and take care of this one unit over here before the units from the top of the screen arrive on the scene. Again, Volkov could theoretically build an L-shaped wall to help protect both the right flank and the top flank, but you should be able to finish these guys up fast enough. So that's my strategy here. Okay, and now I'd like to thank the viewers from the first episode and some of the questions that have come across. So I'll see if I can address those questions in this episode. So the first question that came across is that this is the original Japanese PC Engine version of the game, and the question, of course, is is there a translation available for this particular game? No, for the PC Engine there isn't a translation. However, there is an early Windows version available for this. That has it translated in English. Of course, the Sega Genesis or the Super Nintendo version that does have like a Warsong version. Of course, that that will give you the basic menus and that kind of stuff in English. I do have an FAQ which outlines all the major menus and that kind of stuff. So if you want to pull out a PC Engine, or you have TurboGrafx Duo, or you want to try to do this using an emulator, then that's great. You can, and you can use the menus and that kind of stuff that I've got to help you out with that particular thing. So you can at least navigate. Basically, the operation of the game is pretty simple. So to navigate that is fairly easy. So do look at the link down below, and by all means check that out. Okay. So here we are. We basically going to use Layden here and engage the enemy forces here. We want to try to wipe it out fairly quickly, and basically rearrange our units, get them healed up, and get ready for those forces coming up from above. Okay. The other thing that also came across is that while I'm talking about the FAQ page and basically my internal documentation for this particular game, There's also a hints and cheats code file, which also has some of the interesting information about the exact game and that whatnot. And then of course people are asking, well, how did you know this kind of stuff? And again, the releases these magazines, which are specifically tailored for these particular type of games. So of course everyone sort of knows about things like electronic gaming monthly or something like that. But in Japan, they actually had individual magazines, specifically for Mega Drive and for Super Nintendo, and again, of course, there's one specifically for PC Engine. And in these magazines, not only they have features and that kind of stuff about the new games coming out, and gives you sort of a display of some screenshots of what the games are and whatnot. But also, in these games, they have sections which give you codes, and Langrisser has many interesting codes. There's ones that will allow you to select what level you're on. There's ones that will let you access the hidden shop menu so that you can get all the items and that kind of stuff. You may not have the money to buy it, but you can get some of the really cool weapons and that kind of stuff, and assault suits and that kind of stuff, which are really kind of cool. But again, for the purpose of this FAQ, I won't use any of those, and I won't go into any of the level jumps. But I will go through all the levels for you, and outline anything special that you can obtain on these levels. Like for example, like level 1, you got the double axe, right? So I'll try to go through that and try to show you how to level up all the characters, the main characters anyway, to the 4 class change. And so that's my main goal right there, to try to give you the experience points in such a way that not late and gets all the experience points. I'm not going to try to gun right straight after the bosses until all the infantry is killed, because I want to maximize the experience points and not just collect the cash for all the survival at the end there. So again, try to make sure that some of the later characters get the experience points. Because later on, Jessica and Mina are going to be the hardest characters to try to pile experience points on. Norm will, especially when she gets to Ranger class, it will be a walking, death weapon by herself, right? So she probably doesn't need too much help either. And then you get a whole bunch of NPC characters, which will turn into characters. They will, really, take a lot of the combat, so they should be relatively easy to level up as well. So we'll get into that. But again, if you're interested in this kind of stuff and you want to try to speed it along or whatever, there is a my FAQ sheet that's available. But feel free to go look at the link there, and you can download that and look at it in more detail. Okay, so again, I have a separate part of my YouTube channel, which is allocated for and do the history of fan anime in North America. So basically, I go through and talk about the history of how we got Japanese animation over from Japan over here, and some of the things that happened during this time. And one of the common questions was essentially that how did you really know about all the stuff that comes from Japan? Again, because the internet's not the way it is. Google wasn't there, and we didn't have things like Amazon and eBay and all that other stuff. So how did you know that, for example, Langrisser is out for the PC Engine? And again, I cover that in one of my episodes, but it's from these magazines. So again, you might want to look on my playlist there and take a look at that particular episode about how did we know, or the sources of how we got our anime. All right. Okay, and continue on with some more questions and try to give you some answers here. Another question that sort of came out is like, they someone commented that this is pretty cool music that's in the background. But again, you know, I've done in my YouTube channel. There's a special episode where I did the unboxing of the Langrisser Memorial box set. Okay, and it covers Langrisser I, 2, and 3, and it covers the soundtrack. Basically covers all the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, and PC Engine versions of Langrisser 1, 2, and 3, and then of course the Langrisser 3 they use like the Sega Saturn version, and they basically I basically did a unboxing episode where I basically bring that out and I give you lots of samples and stuff. And by far my favorite tracks come from the Langrisser 2, and I'll show you which tracks are the best ones, and I'll analyze that for you. So again, if you're really interested in the music of that, do check that out and see for yourself what version and what music you like. Okay, but make a quick answer of the question. The Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo at this time were both cartridge-based games of Langrisser 1. The PlayStation is obviously on a PlayStation CD, but it itself is not CD audio. Like you couldn't take the game or anything like that and put it into a CD player and be able to play the music out. So again, it was kind of a compressed format that they used on it. So you got a little bit of lossy signal there. But the one version that I'm playing here is the PC Engine version, and the soundtrack that's on this one, you could actually place the PC Engine CD-ROM here, and you could actually take that and put it into a regular CD player, and it actually would play CD quality audio, sound and music and stuff like that. And that's why the PC Engine version actually has, like I said, a real musical score. It actually has voice actors being able to basically do dialogue and that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't really clip it and put it in this video. I will do it in the next episode because it's important. But you'll see that yes, it actually has full quality voice, vocal music and that kind of stuff in it. So that makes it one of the better versions of the game. And I said, even though the PlayStation version came after, they didn't do that. So that's sort of one of the cravats of this particular version. Anyway, so I've basically put the ending back, that music back into this track. So that's why you don't hear any of the sound effects and that when I'm playing the actual game. To sort of reduce the distraction while I'm doing the overdub of this thing. But again, this music comes from the actual CD, and that's why it's better quality than, for example, those players who played have only played Warsong. You only get that sort of that 8-bit pulse modulated sort of sound, right? So all of a sudden now you're being exposed to like a CD quality sound. So again, if you haven't heard it yourself and you're really interested to hear the newer remake of the music, by all means, do a search for it. You can see that the PC Engine version will have that. Again, you can also have a look at that Langrisser 1, 2, and 3 CD box set that came out. That also has versions of the the multiple consoles, Genesis, the Super Nintendo, and of course the PC Engine version. But again, I recommend you to look at the PC Engine version specifically, because then again, that will give you the best quality score for this particular game. Okay, so back on the game here. So again, so I have Volkov still holding off the bad guys here. The wall on the right side has been holding. You again, his forces are fairly powerful. So yeah, a lot of the forces are suiciding themselves on the screen here. So Layden here is now dealt with the enemies on the right, and now he's getting ready to intercept these the units from the top just in time too, just before it reaches the girls here. So again, didn't quite have enough time to heal Layden, but that's all right. He's got enough power units here, and the enemy units by themselves are not really powerful enough to do anything to Layden anyway. So you don't have to worry about too much. So basically, I'm just gonna take a defensive position, use my strong units to knock him out. Again, his troops aren't that powerful, and Layden's forces should be able to take care of it pretty easily here. So we'll do that. Anyway, the annoying part is that fact that Mina and the girls will try to keep moving forward towards the bridge. So one of the important things in this level is try to make a border, try to separate the barbarians from Mina's forces, okay? Because you don't want them to engage them at all if possible. I mean, Mina herself could probably take them on, but you don't want any of the girls to try to take them on at all. So try to use Layden's troops, or use Volkov's, obviously Volkov's troops, to sort of keep them apart. Maybe put a physical divider or something in between the two of them, so that way they won't get in contact with each other. Okay, and so you can see here that with Volkov, I'm slowly collapsing the wall towards the left as Mina's girls keep moving forward. So as Mina's girls moving to the left, Volkov's troops are slowly shifting also to the left, basically trying to keep a division of wall between the girls and the bad guys on the right. Okay. Again, you might want to also try to slowly start shifting the forces towards the top. So in case of Volkov, can help out there as well to help block some units coming across. The idea is that you slowly want to maybe shift Layden towards the right, just in case use him to take out the boss, take out any remaining units. So basically do a basic experience points grab, right? There's a whole bunch of the experience points there waiting for you. So if you can kind of move over towards the right, you can grab some of the experience points and block off. Again, we don't want him to grab experience points, so maybe sort of start shifting them towards the top and then slowly move them over towards the left. Okay. Now, the other thing that you want to note is that enemy forces have got one set of reinforcements coming in, so you might want to make sure that you don't kill off everything and then end the stage before those reinforcements get here. Then that's a loss of a lot of experience points. You also have some reinforcements coming in. Both the Hawking and Thorn will come in, and so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you hold off long enough until those guys appear on the screen. You want to basically try to set up a barrier by the bridge, so that when they arrive, they can get all the kills from the units coming from the top. Again, it's a good time for them to give some experience points to them. So try to let them do all the kills. And remember, don't give Volkov too much opportunity to get any experience points, because again, you're going to lose him in a couple levels anyway. So try to spread the experience points out. Okay, another question that someone asked was basically, how did you get started into video games? What kind of video games did you start with? Okay, I did an interview video cast with the other YouTuber, the Happy Console Gamer, on YouTube. Look up Happy Console Gamer as one word. You'll see an episode with the King of Smut 95, where I appeared on his show and did an interview. And one of the first questions again was, how did you get into video games? How did you get into anime? And I'll address the first question, which is basically how did you get into video games and that kind of stuff. And, I grew up in a really small town called Prince George. It's approximately about 500 miles north of Vancouver here, and population, not more than 100,000 people even now. But I was one of the type of kids and teens that would always go to the arcade and look at all the new games that they have, like Street Fighter and Space Invaders and Asteroids and all that kind of stuff. And I wasn't really good at most of them. I think my favorite game at that time was Sinistar and Tempest. The ones I played the most. But then these home consoles started coming out, and I really didn't get many of these home consoles. A lot of my friends did. I remember Joel down the street. Yeah, he was one of the first person who bought like the television, and my best friend Marty, who lived across the street, he got one of these weird tank combat games where basically it's just two little joystick pad things. Basically, you'd play tank combat, either one tank versus one tank, or multiple tanks versus multiple tanks, and you basically shot and killed each other. So, some of the people had a variation of Pong, of course. But really, the first sort of real instinct about video games, that kind of stuff, was from the Apple II computer. That's when the first sort of purchase of like a game system, game console that I really got into. Again, the big games for me at that time were things like Wizardry, Ultima. I played a lot of things like Archon. I think Rescue Raiders. Castle Wolfenstein was a really big popular one. And so, we did play a lot of those kind of video games and stuff. And as time progressed, I graduated and went to Vancouver to go to the University of UBC. And at that time, I started getting more into Japanese animation and Japanese culture and basically things like that. Again, I have this story, and sort of how it started in Japanese animation and how some of the influences of Japanese animation. That's all part of my YouTube channel, the history of fan anime. So again, if you want a more full version of this story, do check that out. Okay, but so things started to really pick up. I started up my Japanese animation store called Anime Janai, and that's when we started doing games after that. That's when, for example, a lot of people, customers would come in and they'd play this particular version of Langrisser here, and again, like you watching it now, right? You notice that the game's in Japanese, and the way I was experiencing it is that sure, I took a little bit of Japanese, at the university level, Japanese 100 type of thing. So, but it's not enough to really understand this game. You take a long time trying to decode all the names and all the things and that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, I had a translator. His name is Daisuke, and he really helped us a lot with the translation and just the basic function of this particular game. Sure, he didn't sit here and translate every single of these menus and all that for us, or these dialogues for us, but at least he helped us enough to get the instructions on how to actually put the game in motion. Basically, tier up the menus for us so that that things like this and this and things like that. He made a quick sort of what are the winning conditions, what are the losing conditions, and kind of made that really kind of skeleton for us. And then with that, we were able to play that kind of Now, some of the interpretations that we got, some of the dialogue, if you will, the meanings of the game got a little twisted. Okay, again, I'm gonna foreshadow a little bit. Now, this is how we sort of got some pretty strange interpretations of the game, and how maybe even how we made Langrisser into a hentai game. We gonna have to check out the next episode for this level 2. So I won't reveal that until level 3. So again, hit subscribe, hit like, and you will see that when I get that out. Okay. So yeah. So I mean, basically, I won't get too much further into that until you get that episode. But do check it out. And, so that's how my influence started with video games and that stuff up to this point with this particular game. Okay, so now I have managed to use Layden. I've chased down and kept the enemy from getting to Munin's forces, and basically pushed them down and basically eliminated them lower down. And now I've got Layden at the bottom. I'm gonna slowly now make him go to the right, and basically take care of the rest of the enemies coming from the right. I'm going to try to move Volkov now towards the top, and then shift him over to the left, basically to help out with the reinforcements that are coming, and basically block off and help clear the route for the girls heading upwards. Again, try not to give Volkov any experience points, and basically let the reinforcements take out the enemies coming from the top, and then basically Layden with the right, and then basically take care of all the bad guys there, and then he can get the experience points from the guys coming on the right, right? So we'll just keep moving, let these reinforcements make their way over. Again, the enemy forces have already got a slight head start, so I'll let them try to go over, and hopefully here the enemy will go forward, come forward. Now the problem is that you've got to be careful not to let the forces suicide themselves onto Volkov's forces. Volkov does not need the experience points, but again, try to get there as soon as possible. Basically take the position of the wall while Volkov shifts over. Okay, so another question here. Let's see. Someone commented that okay, so you're making this walkthrough of Langrisser I. There are already some walkthroughs, for example, like Langrisser II. What made you think that you should make the walkthrough, and how is it really going to be different than everyone else's walkthrough? That's sort of a good question. Again, looking at the various different sources, and YouTube again, for example, no one's really done a good walkthrough of Langrisser I. Definitely not of the PC Engine version. Sure, you can do a walkthrough, but the Sega Genesis version, that's kind of the same. Now, again, I'm just going to go over game mechanics here. Each console, sort of generation, sort of made a different thing to the game, and every should I say revision has done something different to the game, and in some cases some people would argue that every revision they made the game easier in some ways, and let me sort of go over that a little bit since we got a little bit of time here. So again, the first version came out with Sega Genesis Super Nintendo, and the main plus for that particular version is that you have your commander, and each commander has control of 8 units, all uniform units, but 8 different types of different units. Now, the multiple number of units is very, very useful and very important, because some of the levels, and even this one here, I'm showing you that some of the things that you can do when you have more units, especially if you're trying to do things like blocking the enemy it becomes very easy and very handy to have more units, because then you can build a larger wall, a thicker wall for that matter. And as your units get injured, you can then take your units out. You can get them healed up. Again, you have those extra units to put back into the front line, and basically continue your strategy of upholding the wall. Basically maintaining the front line. Okay, so you can build basically a critical point line, and then basically you can maintain that critical point line probably up to, I'm going to gather, probably like 6 hexes, probably even 5 hexes. You could keep that line, you can keep the other 2 or 3 guys in backup reserve by your commander, healing up, and then basically as the enemy attacks and hits your wall, again, because you can't get around the wall, you can only they only damage the single unit that's in front of them, which basically gives you the ability to stick your commander behind them, heal them up. You've got those extra 2 to 3 guys behind that with the commander being able to heal them up, pull those units out, and rotate them as necessary. So again, having more units allows you much more flexibility. Okay, so then now comes the PC Engine version, which came afterwards. They revised that a little bit by reducing the amount of units to 6 now. So the maximum number of units that the commanders can have is now 6. They've fancied up a little bit the special weapons that the units can have now. So now the commanders can actually carry one particular power up tool, if you like, or whatever, or an extra weapon or an extra armor or whatever, but they can have one stuff. So that's somewhat makes the game a little bit easier, and somewhat makes the thing a little more complex, I guess, because the game is already easy enough it is, but they made it a little bit harder by having less units, but they make the commanders slightly more powerful. Okay, so then the next version that came out past the PC Engine version is the PlayStation / Sega Saturn versions. And basically now the problem with this particular version is that the PlayStation Saturn version uses the combat engine that's used in the Langrisser II, or Langrisser, as it was released on the Super Nintendo / Sega Genesis version, and then of course on the PCFX they also released the Langrisser for the FX. The problem with this is that they basically made the game a Langrisser 2 game, but as an option you can play Langrisser 1 level using the Langrisser 2 engine. Okay, what that basically means is that if you use the rules or the combat system, how you buy units and that kind of stuff from Langrisser 2, but take that and apply it to levels and scenarios that you had played in Langrisser 1. Okay. Now how does this vary? Well, again, in Langrisser 2, or Langrisser, you don't have as many units, but you can carry mixed units. And so the advantage of this, of course, is that your commanders can then have the full range of flexibility to take on any type of unit that the enemy has come up with. So, for example, if the unit has horses coming at you, you can immediately switch over to archers or your ballistas or whatever, and you can just pick at them before they get to you. Or if they become archers or that kind of stuff, then you can use foot soldiers or pikemen or something to go against those guys or whatever. You can get all the different variations, and or if you need flying units, you can have extra flying units that can go and cross the map a lot faster, which is also useful because let's say if you're doing missions where you're trying to block a guy from escaping the screen or that kind of stuff, you can hurry up and just zip across the screen using a flying move to basically maybe not attack the guy, but at least impede him using using your ZOC, zone of control, to basically stop and make it slower for him to get past you. He has to work around you. He has to stop and attack you. Things like that. You can slow him down, and then that way you can rush up some forces and that kind of stuff to intercept him and prevent him from escaping. Right. So you don't have the advantage of 8 units that you would in, for example, Sega Genesis version, but you have a mixture of different units, and you have different kinds of units. So again, this is when you get to Langrisser, for example, ballistic units, which give you more ranged attacks. Again, more variation to the game, but again, using the concept that Langrisser was, especially for the PlayStation, was redesigned as a Langrisser II game, but again, they just sort of added the option to play Langrisser 1 games, or levels, but using the other engine. So it's kind of wasn't designed for that, and the levels weren't designed to be played in that fashion. The storyline in Langrisser 1 is linear, so you don't have to worry about the volatile paths and that kind of stuff, because you build that and you can give you the option for that. So in case you wanted to play the game as Leon, for example, then or / Lance, and if you wanted to play the game as them, then you really couldn't. And I'm sure that's sort of the idea is because it's sort of the Langrisser 2 engine, one of you want to play it the dark side or something or whatever. So you be the guy who attacks the castle or do different things like that. Okay, so again, they kind of cheaped out and didn't do that. So again, that's one of the shortfallings of the PlayStation version. And again, the game's coming out again on the mobile, and you have expected release for the Switch and the PlayStation 4. Maybe they've fixed that, or other things that they might have improved. But I still hold that this particular PC Engine version is still the best version. Again, when the PlayStation 4 and the Switch version of that may change, but still, as an anime fan, and because I'm reviewing this, primarily as a big anime fan, and historically speaking, for that matter, this I still hold this is the best version, and in terms of uniqueness, this is by far the most unique version and most special version. And again, I will get into that. So, but I'm not going to give it away now. You're going to have to hit subscribe and hit like, and basically, wait until I get to the end, where I can show you something that no other version has. And I'm going to have to get my expertise and maybe get my translator to help out at that point. But I'll leave that as a bit of foreshadowing, a little bit of a tease, if you will. And you'll have to wait to see for yourself what this special surprise / Easter egg is. Okay, so here I am. Let's go back to the game here. So basically I've now fully moved Layden's forces over towards the forces attacking from the right, and just finished them off here, so that's good. And I get rid of those guys, and basically reposition for healing, and wait the next set of reinforcements to come down, and then we'll engage those. Now, as you see it here, I've moved Volkov and over to the left, and basically formed a wall to intercept all those forces coming, the reinforcements coming from the top. And the idea is basically, now that I've formed this wall, I'm going to basically keep Nina from hopefully advancing past me and get in front of me, trying to get to the bridge, and then basically wait for my reinforcements of Hawking and Thorn that are coming from the top of the screen to basically sandwich these guys in the middle, and then get killed between the two sets of forces. Okay, again, it's just it's very important. Try to let Hawking don't get the kills, because right now is a good opportunity for them to stack up on some free experience points and money, because again, as the levels progress, it may be slightly harder to distribute the experience points onto them, because certain levels need to be completed a certain way, maybe a little bit of speed that you can try with them, and it's important that they get leveled up as you can, using more options. Again, the NPC characters like being Nerd and Thorn Hawking, Albert, they don't have full class changes. They only have 3. A lot of them will end up being, in this strategy guide, I'm going to try to shoot for a Magic Knight, okay, as opposed to Magic Knight's rare. That's a different thing. But so I'm going to basically try to level up as that. That'll give me the most flexibility between spellcasting and defensive attack strength, that kind of thing. Again, I know you could level up the Lord or whatever. It's wholly up to you. But because there have been only 3 class changes, and because of how my strategy sort of is to distribute that spell support, I'm going to try to shoot the Magic Knight, because the later levels, even though it's relatively easy to get combat experience points for these guys, later on the experience points will become much harder for people like Jessica and Nina, because they don't, you usually don't stick them into combat, and therefore, because their combat ability is not as good, might be a little bit harder for them to get experience points for them, and of course, you can use them for healing and for attack spells, but you can only do that so far before they're you run out of magic points for them. So again, leveling up them might be a little bit tougher, so you might have to spend more in the later levels to deal with that particular issue. So let's sort of deal with these guys first, because it's probably easier to deal with those. Okay, so to continue on here, so basically Leiden here is now basically getting counted to the reinforcements coming from the right. Again, you shall have no problems with these guys. Take your time. Punching them down one by one. Again, you should really get quite a bit of level ups here, and hopefully get your level up on that. It'll make the next levels easier if you can get a class change with Leiden here. Okay, so try to stock up his experience on this particular level, and then with the forces coming from the top of the screen, again, try to hand out some more experience to make them really up. Okay, so let's go and see what the kind of question they have back here. Okay, another general question. What other video games, console games are you playing right now? I actually made an episode of this on my YouTube channel. For the last couple of years, I've been really playing the game Pokemon Go for a long time, and now just relatively recently, I have now completed my Pokédex for Generation 1, 2, and 3. Again, this year they've released Generation 4, so I'm sort of I'm still playing it, but I'm sort of in that sort of retirement mode, if you will. So I'm not really intensely trying to do as many things as that. But it's one of the things where it's kind of hard to quit that game, because you still got to kind of do the quest, and you still have to still find things and that kind of stuff to finish your Pokédex and that kind of stuff. And it does require some effort, but I don't have to be all weird out and try to spend like all 3 hours trying to do community days and trying to get all these shinies and all that stuff. So I've taken a step back and kind of relaxed a little bit on that. Again, I have some pretty funny videos about my Pokemon Go things. I've got some Pokemon Dojinshis covered on my YouTube channel, and I've also got this special raid tray which I've made for doing multiple devices while doing raids. Again, I might check that out on my YouTube channel. I'll look up Pokemon Go raid tray, okay? Or Pokemon Go tray. You'll see my video. A good kind of funny video, kind of made up. It's sort of kind of is like one of those late night TV ad commercials, late night TV ads sort of thing. And basically it's trying to so this new invention of the Pokemon Go tray to help those people that want to do raids, but no one's ever showing up for the raids. They just kind of stand there and not sort of no one's coming to help them do things. So it's kind of a funny commercial. It's like a minute long, so by all means, if you want a good laugh, do a quick search for that and have a look at that. So that's one of my fun videos for Pokemon Go tray. In retrospect, the tray I actually do use, and I'm still revising the tray to handle different things in that stuff. So again, I also have a video which I go over my Pokemon Go obsession, as it were. I've also started playing a little bit of the King of Fighters Destiny game, and that's kind of interesting because one of my favorite games on the Sega Genesis was Streets of Rage. I like I really do like these kind of side-scrolling sort of adventure type kind of beat 'em up games. Guardian Heroes was a favorite one for Saturn. And I said Streets of Rage, of course, was for Sega Genesis, things like that. So to play a game like that, it's always refreshing. So basically, again, King of Fighters is another one that's sort of favorite game. I wasn't really good at that game, but sort of the ability to use your special moves in a side-scrolling kind of game. So I kind of imagine, playing Streets of Rage or that kind of a game, but being able to, pull off combos and attacks in a row in that sort of format. So, if you kind of imagine, let's say Terry Bogard, for example, and you start, you're playing, like the Streets of Rage where Terry's running along, and you can do, you can come to them and you go punch, and then, power gazer, and then while the guy's in the air, you can punch him again, and, before he lands, you can go, you can do another power gazer or crack shoot him, and then, just basically keep juggling the guy and keep, blasting him back up in the air and uppercut him, and then, do another crack shoot with your leg and kick him back down again, and then, to finish him off, and you go, power gazer, and you just go. So, you just do like hundreds and hundreds of points of damage to these guys by juggling them and whatever. But, so, something a little bit of that. And, again, with the recent announcement that, Langrisser 1 and 2 is coming out for the PlayStation 4 and the Switch, I decided to put together this video of walkthrough for Langrisser. And this is also predecessor to the fact that I really want to get, it was one of the things I always wanted to do, even back in the days when I started playing. I always wanted to outline this special thing about this particular version of Langrisser, and now this is sort of an opportunity to do that. And again, I'm gonna have to call my translator Daisuke and to give me a little bit of help when I get to that part. But I definitely want to reveal that. And again, I've done some searches on the web, and no one's really done it. And so I want to really sort of emphasize that there's this rather unique thing about this particular version, and none of the other versions, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, and I really doubt that the PlayStation 4 or the Switch will have this thing in it, because again, it's tied to the company who made the original game, Messiah. And again, I'll probably cover a little bit more of this story in the next couple of episodes. Messiah, hidden levels and characters and everything. Again, you want to hit subscribe and like, and we'll see and get more information about those things in this Langrisser game. Okay, so back to the game here. So now the reinforcements have arrived, and now the strategy changes a little bit. Not too much though, but so basically now what I want to do is I want to get Volkov's forces out of the way. So I'm going to move Volkov's troops and himself to the far left here, just out of the way, because I don't need his forces clogging up the attack hexes and the zones of controls to the enemy guys, right? I need those hexes open so that the reinforcements can come in and basically attack them and kill them off, right? So I'm going to slowly try to get Volkov to pull out, and basically pull back all his troops as well at the same time. At the same time, I got to make sure that that I don't leave any of the girls totally exposed, right? Because I don't want to pull my unit out of there, and then that gives the enemy a clear path to attack the girls. So I still have to make sure that the lanes are blocked up, but also try to have try to open up 3 hexes so that the reinforcements can get in there and do their attacks. They need to be able to do a combo in 2-on-1. We also check here on the other side. The Layden still should be holding pretty well. He's now taking on still the units coming up from that side. Again, take his time. He doesn't have to help the guys on their side. They've got the situation well in hand here. So he can just slowly whittle down the opposing effort. Okay, good. Okay, so now we got to level up. Again, my strategy here was to make sure that Layden goes to 4 levels. So I'm going to pick the top one, which is lowered. Okay. So again, in order to get the 4 class changes which I'm going to do in this particular game, I'm going to take them to Hero class, which is the 4th class, as opposed to King, which is the 3rd class. Okay, so by going the lowered route, I go from Fighter, Lowered, High Lowered, and then Hero. Okay, and that's the path I'm going to take for Layden. So that's good. We got the level up. That's very important because if you're able to get archers and that kind of stuff and whatnot, and start getting some spells, then that will really help make things somewhat easier. Because if you don't get a level change in this one, especially if you can't get a level change by the time you get to the slime level, you will be in a lot of trouble. Okay, so good. Make sure you get that. That's why. It's important to get distributors experience with. And someone else actually was commenting that this walkthrough is good, but you should have taken a long time to kill the enemy forces. I mean, why don't you just rush in there and just kill the stupid legion? And you're right, I could probably do that. But what I want to instead of just going for the straight cash by killing the users and getting all the the level clear bonus. I really want to get the experience points. Said that it's a slow matriculation based on the number of units killed. So basically, that's why I want to make sure I mine the game for all the experience points that I can. That includes basically trying to go through and basically take out each unit by unit, and then taking out the leader as the last unit, right? So to make sure I gain and get as much experience points as I can, rather than just killing the unit and then all the other units sort of die because did. So so using that strategy, that's why it's taking a little bit longer to complete the level. As maybe for example, you played it, maybe you've gone straight from the commander. There's a lot of times where geez, Volkov was standing beside a level 1 troop. Why did you just roll over him? Right? Sure, Volkov could have rolled over all these guys, and in theory, it is possible to complete this level before the enemy reinforcements come, actually. So, if you did that, that's a loss of a lot of experience. Like, you get the level finished, but you have to lose basically 3 extra troops worth of money and experience. Because the fact that you never actually killed them. So, anyway, so that's part of the reason why it's taking a little longer, but that's okay. I'd like to thank all of you for people that have basically stayed with this this long. Because this video, obviously, or walkthrough is getting a little on the long side, but again, many people would have completed this a long time ago, but here we're at turn 21, and we're almost there. So again, thank you for staying this long for this. But again, hopefully that some of the information I'm giving you in this is you'll find useful and find very interesting. And definitely, in the next couple episodes, I hope to give you more information, some more ideas and that kind of stuff about this particular game that you may not have known and may not have gotten from other sources, just because they're just too concentrated on just the strategy of the game and that kind of stuff, and maybe not telling you too much about what I'm doing, history and the correlation with the game. So again, in the next episode, I'm getting into more story and that kind of stuff, and as the thing continues on, I'm going to tie in how the history from basically the 90s and that kind of stuff, and some anime that were out, because again, that's the next thing I want to cover is character design and artwork and that kind of stuff, and some of the books and that kind of stuff that came out for Langrisser. Talk about the anime aspects, the character design, and that kind of stuff. So again, I want to get into those things in the next episode. So I want to sort of keep that in mind, and hopefully you'll continue to follow this, and I'll be able to tell you some more information about those things. Okay, so do stay tuned, and we'll get more of that kind of stuff. So yeah, again, I'm hoping that this is sort of more of a learning experience. I'm trying to bring some new things to the table that you might not have known about the game, or and hopefully can tell you some more stuff about the game. Okay. All right, so we just finish up here. Laden finally kills the last of the barbarians, and you'll get lots of experience points, and there we go. Level complete. So again, thank you again for listening to the episode up to this point. This is the end of the level where you can see the game, and that will complete Scenario 2. And so stay tuned for Scenario 3. And thanks again. So see you next time.